For me, it always became about could I afford to hire somebody? And as soon as we started monetizing the show, then I would say, oh, look, we have X amount of dollars. I can hire somebody that will do a project for this amount of dollars. So what I did from day one is I made a list and I started tracking everything that I had to do. So the show itself is 172 steps. And you're like, whoa, that's a lot of steps. It's a lot of steps for one person. And as I was doing those 172 steps every day, I'd say, wait a second, I could outsource 30 of these steps to a person for X amount of dollars. So what I did, and we use Google Keep. And Google Keep is a free checklist, and I love it because everybody has Google, and it syncs to all the different Google platforms. So if you're on a smartphone, if you're on a tablet, if you're on your computer, wherever you go, you just sign into Google, and all of a sudden your Keep file is there. So let's say I were to outsource 30 of those items to you. I would just add your email to the bottom of the Keep file, and now you have your to-do list. So instead of me micromanaging you and then jumping in and going, hey, Jennifer, did you finish this? Did you finish that? I can sign into Google and I can look at it and I can see what you've checked off and I can see exactly where you are in the process. Oh, Jennifer's working on this. Let her do her thing. And so it reduced the need for me to jump in and try to, facilitate what was happening. The cool thing is I've never outsourced anything that I myself could not explain. Because if I can't explain it, then how do I know what I'm expecting? And for me, it's like if I didn't know what a loaf of bread was, but I was thinking of bread in my head, and I went into a bakery, and I said, I'm thinking of this thing that you make sandwiches with. It's got flour in it and probably some other ingredients, but the baker's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, great. And then you leave, and you come back, and he hands you a bag of biscuits. And you're like, no, that's not what I was thinking of. If you can't explain exactly what you need, the results are going to come back to you and they're going to look different from what you were hoping for. And so for me, I had to figure out some kind of solution. This is how we do this in this business. It might not be the best way, but it's my way. And in the event that something malfunctions, I can jump back in. And if you do it this way, I can pick up where you left off and I can finish it. So I created a little template and then I would outsource that template to a person on the team. And so you asked me, what does my team look like today? I have a team of 28 people now that work on different facets of the business, but they've all been hired for little projects that I myself understand. And we all do it the exact same way. Now, the cool part is this: family emergencies and vacations. People are like, oh, I'm not going to be here on Friday. Not a problem. And we've literally had people editing in the middle of a show, for example. They will get up and they will leave one marker in the middle of the show. The next person can come sit down and they look at the format and they're like, oh, okay. And they can pick up exactly where that person left off. And you will never know that there were 2 or 3 or 4 editors on the same project. You will never know. Everybody does the exact same formulation on all of our systems across the board. And so it works out really, really well because there are times I've had to jump in and cover for them.